How's it going, everybody? Hope you've all been well. So in this specific video, we're going to be talking about scaling your preps, specifically bug out bag and get home bag kind of mindset. Now you can use this throughout all your preps, but this is just going to be tailored to those two at the moment. So what do I mean by scaling? So in certain scenarios, you may not need to use all of your resources because of the environment or the situation around you. So I always prepare for the worst case scenario. So I have, a larger bag, about 39 pounds, that is always with me. But it doesn't mean I have to run with that 39 pounds depending on the scenario. So if you have a common situation like a broken down car, I don't need to throw on the Minuteman kit, the night vision, and then walk 20 feet to the AutoZone. Like, it's very myopic to think that way. So I notice there's a few people think that way, and I'm trying to get more information out about it. So the whole mindset behind scaling. So there's a lot of scenarios that can occur in today's modern environment, and we've been seeing that quite a bit globally, regionally, all kinds of stuff like that in different countries. So starting at the top, I'm going to start at the minimal and work our way to the most catastrophic. And it's kind of in levels what you need to prepare for. I'm going to give you kind of certain ideas and maybe some equipment loadout kind of in each. So the first one is a personal incident. So a personal incident is something that occurs to you that doesn't really affect anyone else except for yourself. So your car breaks down, you get lost, you have a flat tire. That's affecting you, and it's reasonably easy to fix. But sometimes it may not be. Maybe you don't know how to fix your car, but more than likely there'll be outside resources or people available to assist you in that. You just have to get to them. So obviously it's a worse scenario if your car breaks down and you're 200 miles away from it, like civilization and stuff like that. Then it becomes more of a extreme personal event, but that's why we scale our specific preps. Sorry about the helicopter in the background. They're just doing all kinds of movements today, probably just getting in their flight hours. Secondly, isolated incident. So this kind of steps it up more to a specific area that it affects more people. Snowstorm, power outage, a riot, earthquake that's much smaller. So big one right now is power outage and riot. When winter comes around, it's probably going to be a snowstorm. Snowstorm can affect more people and put them into, kind of dire situations. So you may have a limited amount of help just in your small little area, maybe your neighborhood or something like that. Especially riots these days. Riots are getting a little bit more common, unfortunately, and that's when it starts affecting more people. So you may have to bring more protection or defensive tools with you other than food if you're traveling a small distance. Car breaks down on one side of the road, it's nighttime, and you have to get home to your family. You're going through an event or something like that. Can you go around? It's going to give you more time. There's a lot of things to take place, which we will actually go over that, the mental mindset, after I go over this. We're going to talk about how to plan that stuff out. So next is a regional situation, power grid failure. Hurricane, forest fire, nuclear meltdown. These are just examples. These aren't like these are the events that have to occur. I'm just giving you examples to think about. So regional, so it's much more affecting of an area like Hurricane Katrina. That was a large regional based area that was affected. And that's when we started to get into loss of law and order or law enforcement presence. People started doing more. So you need to scale your bag for that type of scenario. So if a regional event is occurring, you're going to probably need to bring more with you than you would a personal incident. I don't need to bring my get home bag with me if my car breaks down and I'm going to AutoZone. Don't need to do it. But in a regional situation, my car breaks down or like a loss of power grid or something like that, and I still have to get home, I'm going to pack more things because there's less people out there that are going to help me because more people are in the same exact situation I am. So moving down from that, national emergency, economic collapse, civil war, epidemic. This is where it's starting getting really serious, and it's kind of on you, your personal. I don't foresee in that scenario law enforcement being a thing that you can just call up and they'll be like, we'll be there in 2 minutes. They're going to be busy dealing with hundreds, if not thousands, of other calls at that exact same time, and you're going to be on your own. So you need to prepare your bag for that type of scenario. And lastly, worldly event, pandemic, EMP, nuclear war. This is a long-term event that is probably going to occur, and it's going to be difficult to get back to what we originally know as the normal way of life, if it ever would go back, because maybe certain laws or certain things are in place that just change the American lifestyle or whatever country that you're living in. So those are my specific kind of points that it can occur. Now, how we flow through these is kind of like the deadly force or use of force model is technically what it is. Law enforcement use this highly. They are trained highly at this. So at the bottom of the pyramid, it is no force, moderate force as you work your way up, moderate force, less than lethal, and deadly force. So you can go from personal incident and continue down into larger and larger scenarios, unfortunately. It could start out as a personal event for you, but it starts affecting more people if it was a larger scenario, maybe like a solar flare occurred. Cool, at that moment, it's a personal incident, but it's affecting an entire nation. So you can move through these very quickly or very slowly, and you need to have your bag ready for that worst case scenario, in my opinion. So if that worldly event occurs, you have everything you need. But if it's just a car breakdown, you can leave a lot of stuff out of your bag, take things out. Okay, I don't need night vision, don't need the food, don't need the AR, don't need the overnight equipment because AutoZone is a mile away. That's what I'm trying to get at here. So another technique to understand going through these scenarios, and this is a military terminology, which is METT-TCP. So specifically for what we're doing, we're probably only going to use from this over. C and P, which is civilian considerations and political considerations. As civilians, we don't really need to worry about that stuff. So let me go over it and let me show you how the mindset works. So mission, enemy, terrain, troops, and time. These are a thing that you will move through. What is your mission? If my car breaks down, I need to get somewhere to fix it. What is the enemy of me walking to AutoZone, which is a mile away? Now, don't think enemy as in physical person harming you, but enemy can be weather around you. Maybe it's wintertime, it's -5. So you need to dress appropriately to get to that. Terrain, what type of environment, kind of enemy and terrain are the same, but what type of terrain are you going to be traversing to get there? Are you on decent land? Are you on the water? Like, it just depends on what's going on. Things to think about. Troops, or what I would think is people available to help you. So this is used in kind of a different terminology for the military, but it kind of works in this scenario. So other people around you that can help you. Are they in a worse situation than you? Are they in a better situation than you? Can they help you? Or are you alone? You can just scratch it out. No one's here. And then time. Do you have a time limit? Do you need to meet? Is the sun going down? Is it going to get colder? Should I walk to AutoZone when it's getting dark in 10 minutes? Or should I stay in the car? Do I have the means to stay in the car without freezing to death because it's wintertime? There's a lot of these things that can go into play with this. And every event that occurs, you can use this kind of METT-TC generally to get your mind straight and work towards your goal. So, hope you guys enjoyed this, kind of down, dirty, just throwing out information. Like I said, this is all my opinion. So this is me. I didn't really gather this from any location. I just kind of made it up as I went over the years and years. And this is the mindset I kind of have through bug out bag, get home bag, and preps, is the whole scaling aspect. You don't need to use all of your equipment on a common, flat tire. But if it goes all out, you better be ready for, that all out, in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this kind of stuff, I have some more things coming up. I got a lot of night vision stuff, a lot of shooting stuff. The night vision one is actually going to be pretty fun because I'm going to go into details of kind of affordable night vision, how to actually use it, not in an operator status, like You know, normally the videos out on YouTube are like that, but we're going to get into navigational purposes and what the good and the bad, how to utilize them in a proper environment, and a whole bunch of other stuff like bags, get home bag stuff, upgrades, new stuff like that. So if you liked it, definitely hit that like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.